Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Marvel Strike Force on this Monday morning. Well, for me, it's not morning; it's almost evening for me. But anyways, what I want to talk about here is gonna be maybe a bit controversial and maybe a bit surprising coming from me. But I want to talk about the Danger Room. There's been a lot of mixed comments about the Danger Room online, on Reddit, Discord, and all those places. Some people for, some people opposed. I want to talk about this current Danger Room. I want to talk about my thoughts on that now that I've had some time to digest that, and what we're going to be seeing going forward in the month of July, I believe, because it will be coming back again and possibly a bit sooner than last time, and what more they could do about it. I know that, sometimes I don't know if Scopely watches my videos or not, but there's going to be some positive stuff here, so maybe they might be able to take away some stuff. So let's boil this down. Before I get into that, though, I do want to remind people that you should probably hoard all of your resources here for the Strike Pass. I usually try to do this on Monday morning, but sometimes I forget and accidentally claim it. But anyways, you should be more than well done Strike Passes, especially, I think I finished like 5 or 6 days early, because I said this in another video and they didn't take it away yet. But they've been giving, like the 3 Strike Pass, the catch-up points for both passes, actually, in fact. And that's got me able to hoard both energies. Obviously, campaign energy we're going to spending later on today, though, with the new events starting, right, with the Fire Incarnate. We talked about that as well. And my apologies, because I did actually record that video before yesterday's video. I recorded that before it was live in game. I think I had recorded it late on Friday night, or my Friday night anyways, or something like this. But you can now see the Negative Zone Harbinger in game right now. They are... Did they take it away? Did something screw up? Hold on. Wait, is there 2? What a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. There's 2! There's 2 identical negative zones that are going to be popping up. I was like, wait a minute, I saw this the other day, and it had the fiery incarnate orb fragments. So this one, there's 2. There's one at the very end, and there's one like over here, and one has the orb fragments and one doesn't. That's absolutely wild. And yet it still has, this one has the required chapter 1 harbinger. So what's the rewards on this? The basic, wasn't this the last time? The Quasar basic awakened? Wasn't that the time before this? Where you still have to actually use, that's crazy. Okay, this is the old one, this is the new one, where you can use any characters that you want. What I want to actually take a look at is the power levels the same? So I want to look at the 1.5 million Miss Marvel Classics. Is it the same as the last time we did that? Let's go to the last note. Okay, so it kind of is. So I'm wondering whether or not we will be able to auto it with wrong button. Can we auto this with like Mephisto, Odin? How hard is that going to be if we get to use these kinds of characters? Null, Old Man Logan, maybe. I don't know who the best really are at that point. But I am kind of curious. Anyways, so there we go. You get the Omega Red Phoenix Basic Awakened, as they said. The passive awakened, but you have the orb fragments here on every single node, and it's a grand total of 1,500 orb fragments per run. And why this is important is because if you do 1,500, oh no, my numpad's on, 1,500 times, nope, because I had a 0 by accident, 1,500 times 14, that's what I meant to do, is 21,000 points in the Negative Zone Harbinger by doing this every single day. So that part is important, right? So you decide, I'm not gonna say make sure you do it, decide whether or not you're gonna do it or not. For me, I just have a busy time, right? So on Wednesday is the official launch of Marvel Mystic Mayhem. I'm gonna probably touch on this tomorrow. I'm also gonna make an announcement, I think, on my Discord server as well, so keep an eye out for that. I will be playing on Wednesday. There is a guild function as well. I just don't know how much activity there is in Marvel Mystic Mayhem right now in guild kinds of things, but if you are interested, go on down to the Discord section for Marvel Mystic Mayhem on my Discord server. We'll be chatting about that there. So Negative Zone Harbinger, that's coming back. Let's talk about what I meant. This is what I really meant to talk about here today, is the Danger Room. So it is 8 more days left. What I will say is that I did clear the last milestone, right? I did the video, I cleared milestone 12, difficulty 10, and I picked that up. But I didn't really run it after that. And so I'm curious. Okay, some people are running it a little bit more. I'm at 6,600, I guess, just by doing the D and a lot of, well, some ties, anyways. And that's put me in here somewhere. So I'm going to get one of these icons, I guess. Well, you know what? Actually, it's just a participation trophy, it seems. These XLs, don't worry about it. It actually means absolutely nothing. But the one disappointment and why I had no reason to do more than this was because they didn't run a global milestone. So previously, they had run a global milestone like this one here, but they did it for the danger room. So it kind of gave me reason to kind of rerun or run more of the danger room because it would work towards a global milestone, and you continually get more. It was mostly intel, I think, but regardless, there was no reason for me to do it more than that. And I only did a couple of runs on the danger room, and I called it quits. Now that's a little bit unfortunate for me, in my opinion, because it was available for like 2 to 3 weeks. I think that there should have been something more available for people who wanted to run it a little bit more. Now, maybe it wouldn't have to be necessarily, a ton of stuff, but I actually do find this game mode fun. I think that it is some people are gonna get me in the comments, but I do think that this version of Danger Room Part 2, Danger Room 2, was better than Danger Room 1. I think they cleaned up a little bit of what was the problems for Danger Room 1. Unlike some people, I knew that the cumulative nature of Danger Room 1 was not intentional. Scopely's prone to screwing up all the time. And there was no reason that you should keep doing like difficulty 2 runs and stacking your points. That just was not intended. That was not intended for the game mode. Like I know that. And so they fixed it, and that's fine. And it's based on your highest run. Okay. Now the other thing is that I never really got to experience a lot of these other mods because I just didn't need it. So there was this cosmic until all allies have taken a turn, lower all enemies focus by 5,000 and damage by 50%. Crucible bonus is active. Tons of stat mods that are even higher, 30%, 50%. And so maybe these are just intended to be like pities or mercy mods, right? So an additional 80% stats would make running difficulty 10 significantly easier, right? 80% is a lot. Some of these other ones only included like not even stats across the board. It was like 10% over here and like 20% damage, 20% focus resistance. So 20% across the board by and large for some of these other ones and 10% speed, but this is like 80% across the board. So maybe it was, I don't know what their intentions were with this. Maybe it was intended to be just a mercy mod for people who were able to grind their way up. And I guess I could, if I wanted to, I could apply this. But like I said, if you haven't finished your run yet, make sure you apply this one because it's going to make that last boss with 2 Mephistos significantly easier. Now, what I find interesting, or what I found interesting anyways, was that I could kind of play with the characters that I wanted to play, even though that they were still benefiting significantly by making you want to have, and I guess that's in the way there, Crucible bonuses activated for the Accursed team. You did not have to run using them. In fact, I heard that you could actually rent Accursed characters and still beat it that way. I didn't do that, but some people did, right? I was able to use Vigilantes by and large. I even did it with Electra, which was on my posted video run. Now, did I have gear tier 19/20 characters? Yes, but there have been proven videos out there that you can use rented characters at difficulty 10 and still clear it. Would it make it a lot easier if you had, say, these modifiers, the 80% stats? Probably, especially with the rental characters, but it's not impossible. And I actually like what they're trying to do with this game mode. It just doesn't give me a lot of reason to repeat this, and I don't want it to be repeated ad nauseum. That's not what I'm looking for. I guess I'm looking for something that's in between like one run to clear the milestone and like, not doing it every single day. I don't want to do this every single day, but like, I don't know, maybe just give me something else. But I know that they don't want to. This has always been contentious with the player base, I think, right? Because they had those other events. They had the Cataclysm trials, and that was basically like this, like it was aesthetic rewards. And maybe this is just me, but I need more. I typically need more than aesthetic rewards to do things again. And maybe this is weird. This is where I'm kind of like, I don't know where I'm being pulled here, because like I want to run the danger room more, but I want more rewards than just an aesthetic frame thing or whatever the hell this is. And that's the thing with the Cataclysm trial, is that I didn't really run those things. Actually, the last one I couldn't even do because it was like gear tier 20, right? It was like bonuses to Xavier. That was maddening. But the other ones I didn't really even do much because again, they were just offering like avatar icons or whatever. It just wasn't like tangible resources for me to run. I like the nature of the danger room. I like the randomness of it, believe it or not. I think that they could refine it and retune it a little bit more, which they're probably not going to do based on anything that I say. Because I'm not in the Envoy program anymore, but maybe some of those people over there might say something that might do something a little bit better for the danger room. I don't like the monetization aspect of it, or what they're. I'm going to say the attempt of monetization aspect, and what I mean by that, and I'm just going to enter here just to show you, like the accursed characters, right? Are they not here down here? So I don't have I don't have them active because I don't have my accursed team. I guess I don't have them unlocked, right? But that's what they're going towards in terms of monetization. The latest team are going to be the quote unquote strongest characters to use in this. But it didn't stop me from using characters like I actually was able to do it with Blade as well. Mainly Blade and Songbird were the other ones that I used that wasn't the Vigilantes, but by and large, I just primarily used Vigilantes. I would start every single run with Daredevil, Modern, and Punisher. Believe it or not even Silver Sable. And I would do that. I would try to pick up as many of my Vigilantes as I could. Sometimes I would use Blade or Songbird in the interim, or if I really had to, just whatever else was there, right? Maybe something from the Thunderbolts, Ghost, probably because I had to, right? If that was the only thing that showed up. So I kind of like the random nature of it a little bit, but you can see that there's quite a variance here in the rental characters. I don't know why it's so much different here, or what that's even based on. You see the hood's like 518k, but like I don't know, Songbird's like 1 million. Like I don't get it. 500k for the accursed, and yet the Thunderbolts are like 1 million. What is this even based on? Or is this just is that my character? No, it can't be, because my Taskmaster is way higher than that. My Taskmaster is well over 1 million. So I don't know what dictates the rental stuff. There maybe needs to be some alterations or some changes when it comes to this kind of stuff. But I actually thought it was engaging enough to want to give it a shot, to play it a couple of times. I probably played it about 10 times in total. I did do a couple of more runs after that one that I did on my video, just for shits and giggles, right? Because I just wanted to play around with it a little bit more and see the randomness. It was quite random on some of the mods. I think I showed in one of my in that video, actually. In fact, there's a mod that stops enemies from being empowered. That's funny. Let's put that away. But that mod that stops enemies from being empowered is very rare. I think in 10 runs I saw it once. So I don't know if all of the mods have an equal chance of showing up, but some of them are obviously a lot better than others. That's just the nature of this, but I wouldn't mind some more transparency on things like that. Is it equal chances for every single mod? Is there a percentage variance in these kinds of things when it comes to the nodes that's going to show up, when it comes to the mods that's going to show up, when it comes to the characters that you can find after you do the runs, right? What kind of chances, the statistics. I'm a numbers person, right? So I just want to know, is it actually random, or is it weighted behind something else? That's just my curiosity. I also would like to know about you guys, like, because I don't think I've actually done a video like this where I've actually talked about the danger room and wanted to get your feedback. I do actually want your guys' feedback, right? Like, I'm not just saying that because I am genuinely curious about how many of you, or at least those of you who engaged in the comments, right, that actually did like the danger room for what it was. Okay, so I would like a little bit more on the reward side of things. That's just me, right? I always like a little bit more. I like the resources. I like carrots. I said this before, and why I don't do a lot of other things, especially in the PvP side of things, because I don't feel the carrots are good enough for me. But if the carrots were there, I would do it more. I don't like doing it just for funsies. Well, so I do like doing it for funsies, but if there's a purpose, I suppose, that so I can get the best of both worlds. But let me know in the comments down below your overall opinions of the danger room. What would make it better for you? So if you're someone who didn't really play a lot of it, why not? And what would get you to play a little bit more? And if you did play a lot of danger room, tell me why you did do so, and maybe also what would you would like to see from that. And who knows? Maybe things will improve for the next time. Also, do want to say the Danger Room will be coming back in a new X-Men variant. That's what I've heard in one of the videos, in the Strike Time or Strike Spot or whatever you want. That's going to be basically X-Men based, and then we're going to see a lot of X-Men characters be used in that next iteration of the Danger Room. So I'm still interested to see where it goes from here. That's going to be it for now. Enjoy Fiery Incarnate, which is going to go live later on today, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.